All right, have and have not fans. Hope everyone's doing well. I know that this video, I'm probably going to get a lot of disagreements in the comment section because last night on Twitter, you had the back and forth phone tag game between Jim and Hanna regarding the tracking code in order to have the device in the vehicle tracked so the owner knows the location. So go ahead and like the video. Let's try to get to 45 likes. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and select all. That way you're notified whenever I post content. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Basically, where I was going with that was I tweeted out, like, if you were Hanna, or do you think Hanna should have given the code? And a bunch of people like, nope, hell to the no. Hell no. I got a bunch of funny GIF responses on Twitter. But let me put it this way. When it came to the elitist attitude and smart remarks, I understand completely for Hanna to hang up the phone and everything. And to be honest, they've been playing this game of tension between Hanna and Jim for some time now, from the threats to the physical attacks and everything. So I can understand her unwillingness to listen. But Jim was after, she put him in his place, he was actually attempting to make genuine conversation about, it's important, it's about my son, could you please give me the tracking number, it's been changed so we can track the car. And she kept hanging up, and I was like, okay, that's pretty messed up. I understand. I feel like there are more cons than pros when it comes to Jim's side in terms of figuring things out with the code situation, but I just feel like she should have given the code, or at the very least made it so they could change it, because even though you can't stand Jim, and I can understand why, that is still Catherine's son. And at the very least, you could have given the code, but then again, Tyler Perry needed to drag out the episode. So then Jim had to call David, then David had to go over to the house and then basically explain the situation. And from there, she went inside with him to change the code, and give Jim access so he can give it his own code. And then we know in the next episode, thank you, Jesus, that's the name of the code. I just feel like it was a completely unnecessary, wasted plot that really didn't show Hanna in a good light at all. And I'm not saying I dislike Hanna. I just don't like how she's being portrayed in these episodes. I get it. She's reached the point of, I can't take this bull crap anymore from these rich, snobby people. No. And then that was a good scene between David and Hanna. And yes, I'll do a separate video because people are convinced his mother was actually one of the characters in the movie I Can Do Bad All By Myself. So I just feel like when it comes down to it, I think Hanna should have just easily given the code over once Jim started talking to her like a human being instead of a piece of trash. But I don't think she needed to have that attitude for so long. Thankfully, David was able to speak, give her a sense of reason, and she was able to, like, you're fine, okay, fine, let's go ahead, here's the code. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I just feel like, you work for me. No, I work for Catherine. She's not incorrect, but they are still married, so I mean, that's Catherine's house she's working at. That's Catherine's condo she's staying in. She's in charge of the Cryer estate. So again, the title of the episode was called The Executor, but that was never brought up in the episode. I really do think that, I thought that Jim and or David would have found out that Hanna's in charge of everything. So I thought that was going to actually be brought up, but it wasn't. I feel like if it was, it would have brought things to an interesting dynamic where Jim realizes that, holy crap, I do have to be nice to her now. So that would have been interesting. But instead, we just have Hanna being incredibly stubborn. And even though I don't like Wyatt that much, just the fact that his life was on the line and she just still didn't want to give up the information, I thought was bull crap. Because at the end of the day, hate Jim if you want, but that's still Catherine's son, even though technically that's the same son that left your son for dead. But you tell basically Benny to get over it so many times, so why haven't you? I mean, since you didn't want to help, I'm assuming you haven't gotten over it, Hanna. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Hanna should have gave up the code? If you were Hanna, would you have given up the code, or eventually, just gave in? I don't know. But thanks so much for tuning in, and if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.